everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports.
As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Roethlisberger Steelers going up against Wilson Seahawks. So let's get you up to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. On the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are just south of historic Pioneer Square at CenturyLink Field in the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The first carry for the rookie Procise. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
They go play action now. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Stephon Tuitt able to drop him for a loss of 4. Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that brings up 4th down. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So they had great field position, but a three-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a three-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in? I
do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Bryant with a catch right side. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude it? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play. 3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. No, not good here. Their field general is still down, and that would not bode well for this offense if he's unable to continue. So Roethlisberger, we've seen this before, unfortunately. He'll depart. And in his place is the former Oklahoma standout, Landry Jones. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
All right, partner, let's go back over the last couple of plays. Sack, loss of yards on a running play. Not exactly the sequence that an offensive coordinator gets comfortable with when calling plays. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. There's some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Throw complete there. Rodgers. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Well, I think everything was impressive about that one, except they didn't get a 1st down. but I like their field position now after that play.
Yeah, now you got a pretty makeable field goal opportunity. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. That one good for 12 yards. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete right around the 8. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Wilson. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Check 26, check 26. Check. Lucky.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
With it is Brown. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looks pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Brown, the lone receiver left. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he's got room. And a cut to the sideline. It's a big run that time by Bell. 40 yards on the ground. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And ready now for 2nd and 9. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Lockett the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down now after the sack.
14, run it. Show it. Kill. Buka team. Kill. 95. Check your hot read. 14. SOS. Check. Motion out of backfield. Motion out. 14. Entry. Big head.
On second down, here's Wilson. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Easy. Show us 14. There. 6 guys. Alert. Tighten up.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Brown. A very good return there. Give him an even. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the wideout in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. Trying to get it. And now it's 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, you know, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers, Charles. What did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017 because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, boy, you can make bigger plays downfield.
And he motions the wide receiver. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. And even 40 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. And the offense moving quickly to the line. In motion left, Curse.
Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Check motion man. Come front.
Third and 2. Now Wilson. He's got Curse. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Shift together here from the D-line. From the shotgun, Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And this is going to be incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
They'll run it. This is Procise. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jimmy Graham, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
One thing that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And caught, right side, Green. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 68 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Lockett the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ryan Shazier able to get in there and drop him behind the line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Play action. Now Wilson. Being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And now the offense operates in the red zone. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. C.J. Procise, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And this one through the uprights and good. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Again, it's Bell. Room here to run. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A gain of 8 and a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Grill. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now Roethlisberger. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the take over the football. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They'll look to throw. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Right back to Prosite. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Screen, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I know it was a completion, but probably not the best decision to throw the ball to the middle of the field here. No timeouts. Give a ton of credit to him making the catch and finding a way to get to the sideline and get out of bounds.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Back to throw. Steps away. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. 3rd and short, it's Prosite. And he is going to lose yard. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A pressure spot now for a guy who's been here before, and that's Stephen Hauschka. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
That one goes for 24 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. That'll be caught by Rodgers. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Here's Bell, and that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it with Bell. Le'Veon Bell stopped short of the line to gain. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Easy. Mike 50, Mike 14.
And the back goes into motion. Now what can Wilson do here in the OT? The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And now what they want to see here, he's still down on the field. Obviously such an important part of their passing game, and the training staff, they're going to have to attend to it. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
2nd down following the run. And they run with a backup. This is Thomas Rawls. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. So now and the Steelers signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash, this from 48. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a